Hello everybody, this is Carter from Coaster Explorers, and today I'm going to be reviewing the absolutely ridiculous RailBlazer at California's Great America. Holy moly, what a powerhouse. This thing is ridiculous. And let me just give a shout out to our executive producer, Nolan Lozier, for hyping up this roller coaster so much that Swade and I just couldn't handle it and we had to go try it out. And I'm glad he did because this thing is ridiculous. Back in July, me, Swade, and Nolan decided to head out to California, hit up their main parks. We went to Magic Mountain, we went to Knott's, we went to California's Great America, and we went to Discovery Kingdom. Of all of the roller coasters I rode, this one was probably the biggest surprise for me, besides the fact that X2 is just ridiculous. But this is not an X2 review, this is a RailBlazer review. I rode Wonder Woman at Magic Mountain before this, so I had a pretty good idea of what this was going to be like. No, this is a completely different experience than Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's more drawn out. It is smoother, which I'll get back to that in a minute. This just destroys it in the pacing category. This is a lot shorter of a ride, less capacity, but it doesn't need that big of a capacity. Enough of that, let's get into the ride experience. You start your journey by ascending a 106-foot lift hill. That does not sound very tall at all, but trust me, this ride has the best pacing in the world. Bar none. Bar absolutely none. 106-foot lift hill into a 90-degree vertical drop. That means the pullout is so tight that you have insane positive Gs. And the steepness in which you reach that 90-degree descent from the top, you get ejected out of your seat in basically any of the rows, but especially the back row. One of the best first drops in the entire world. And I've been on 4 of the Giga coasters, and this is arguably just as good, if not better. After that ridiculous first drop, you're going to go into a dive loop that has some of the strongest laterals I've ever experienced in my life. After that dive loop, you're going to go into this off-axis airtime hill, which is one of the best airtime moments in the entire world. After that, you have a tight upwards helix to the right that I grade out on every single ride. After that upwards helix to the right, you have another fantastic drop halfway through the ride. Once again, you're going to want to be in the back for this one. You just get skyrocketed out of your seat. Then you go into a cutback in version 2 of 3. Following that cutback, you go into a roll. It is the only relaxing moment of the ride, I'd say. You kind of just coast through it. Then a tight bank turn to the left, hugging the ground, and do an ejector pop into the brakes. Bam! That's your ride experience. Very short, very effective, and honestly hilarious how fast you fly through this layout. Now, to the negatives of this ride. I mentioned earlier the smoothness. This ride is not smooth, guys. I'm sorry, it's just not. Like, I was expecting it to be smooth, and it was not smooth. It rattled through the entire ride. I think that might have something to do with this being the prototype model. The trains have been updated since on the Wonder Woman mirror image of this ride. The newer single rails have a thicker spine and track. There's also a different amount of cars on the newer ones and a completely different train design. So that might have something to do with it. I also think it has something to do with the track profiling. Stunt Pilot is a near clone to this ride, but the profiling is a lot more drawn out. So I think that has something to do with why this ride feels like it's falling apart when you're riding it. But guys, do not let that take away from the ride experience. It is absolutely insane. The more I rode this, the less the shakiness bothered me. On my first ride, it kind of bothered me. When I kept lapping it, the shakiness, I just felt like I got numb to it, and I was just shocked and floored every single time at how insane this coaster is, guys. You have to go ride it. That's the only thing I can say. And with the uncertainty of the future of California's Great America, that just makes you need to get out there that much more. So, out of 10, what do I rank this ride? You see, that's pretty tough because this ride is so short, it's shaky, but it has my favorite pacing of any coaster I've ever been on. So taking all of that into account, this roller coaster is getting a 9 out of 10. The only reason it's missing a point is because it's really short and because it's shaky. Everything else is perfect. There is not one element I would switch on this ride. It's so compact, it's so intense, it's in your face. It's just an unbelievable ride experience. And I've been on over 200 roller coasters, and this easily is in my top 20. That just shows you how good it is and that size does not matter. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to have more reviews coming out to you soon. whether it's me, Suede, Nolan's going to make some appearances here and there. He's our executive producer, so he's busy behind the scenes. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. And get out and ride a roller coaster today if you can.